Hey everyone, Miss Folk here, and for these notes, we're going to actually split it up between 2 days. So you're going to watch this video today, and then the next video the next day, and you'll upload all of the notes to one assignment, okay? So this lesson is all about slope. So we've talked about this very briefly at the beginning of the year, so I wanted to make sure we had a quick refresher of this. Basically, the steepness of a line is called the slope, okay? And remember, steepness is just how tall, how shallow a line would be. So for this next fill in the blank, we have the letter we use for slope is a lowercase m, okay? And then y, you can go ahead and read that fun fact. My mom's a French teacher, so I thought you would enjoy. So when given the graph of a line, we need to know the simple definition of slope. And all that is your rise over run. And I'll explain that a little bit more in detail here in a second. But slope is the ratio of the line's vertical change. And remember, vertical, that's when you're going up and down. And that's to its horizontal change. And again, horizontal is side to side. Okay? So that's what we mean by rise over run. We're talking about our vertical change over our horizontal change. Okay? So for this next step here, we're going to go ahead and find the slope given that we have a line graphed here. So first off, we're going to mark some points on the line, and you're always going to start from the left, okay? Now, it will depend what teacher you have. I was always told to start from the left, but you don't necessarily have to, and as you practice a little bit more, you'll see why. But to start off, I want us all starting from the left. So on my line here, okay, I'm going to look and see where I can put a point exactly on a solid coordinate point. And what I mean by this, I'm going to put 1 here because clearly this lines up perfectly with -4, comma, -3, okay? So I'm putting it exactly where they intersect because technically I could put a point here, but then I'd be dealing with a half and stuff like that. So I'm just going to go ahead and put them exactly where I see whole number points, okay? So for our step 3, we're going to find the rise or fall. So our up is obviously going to be positive. If we're moving up when moving from left to right, that's going to be positive. And if we're going down, that's going to be negative. And then for the run, so our horizontal, we're always going to run right. So like I said, we're going to go from left to right, okay? So looking at this graph here, we can see that, again, remember we're doing rise over run. So let's see from, I'll put these in blue here, from this blue point to this blue point. We are rising 1 and we are running 2. Let's check again. We are rising 1, we are running 2. So we're going up 1, right 2, up 1, right 2. So our rise, again, I said is up 1, so it's going to be positive. And our run, we're moving to the right. So think about moving on a number line. When you go to the right, you're going positive. So our slope is going to be 1 over 2. Okay? So moving on down here, it says we're going to be using the formula to find slope. That's going to be in that next video, okay? But sometimes we're going to get fractions that need to be reduced, okay, or simplified. So these graphs down here are showing us that this is the same exact line in every single graph. But sometimes you might not see that the slope is 1 over 2 right away. So clearly here in the first one, we just solved that, okay? Here, they didn't put this, I'm going to put it in blue here, they did not put those 2 dots. So they saw that they went up 2 to the right 4, up 2 to the right 4. And that should simplify down to 1/2, okay? Now, same idea here. Here we see that they went up 3 and they went to the right 6. 3 over 6, again, simplifies to 1/2. And then our last one, they're going up 4 and to the right 8. Okay, and again, that's going to simplify down to 1/2. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and find the slope of 2 of these lines, and then I want you guys to figure out the next 4 on your own. But let's start off by plotting some points on the left. So where do they perfectly intersect so we have whole number coordinates? I can see right here, and remember, I should have mentioned this earlier, you always do x comma y for your coordinates. It's always x first, then y. Think alphabetical order, okay? So anyways, starting here, I have -4 is my x value, and I'm up 2. So I'm starting at -4, 2. The next point I see where I have a clear intersection with whole number coordinates is down here. That's at that's at 0 for my x, -1. And then if I keep going down, I see I have another point here. But really, you only need 2 points on a line to find the slope, okay? So in green here, I'm going to do my rise over run. So clearly moving from left to right, remember, okay? I'm going down this time, okay? So here I can see that I'm going down 3. So I'm going to have a -3 for my rise aspect in my slope, okay? I'm moving to the right. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. So my slope is going to be -3/4, okay? And again, if you want to double check, let's check these next points. I see that I'm going down 3 again, and I'm going right 4. So we know that one checks out. Now, here on this next graph, let's see, I can have a point. I see a point with clear coordinate or clear whole number coordinates here. I see another one here, another one here. And again, just to practice naming these, this point on the bottom left is -1, -3, because I'm left 1 and I'm down 3. Up here, my x value is 0, my y value is 1. So again, let's check my rise over run. Here, moving from left to right, I can see that I am going up, so my rise is going to be positive this time, and that's going up by 4, and then it's moving to the right 1. Okay, so my slope is going to be 4/1, or we can just simplify that to 4, okay? So I want you guys to do these next few on your own, see what you come up with, okay? Okay, so moving on down here, we have that there are 4 different types of slopes. So at the top left here, we have as we travel from left to right, so again, starting down here at my left, as I move right on my graph is going up. So this type of slope is called just a positive slope. And that's actually just like the slope we found up here. Clearly, as we moved from left to right, we had a positive slope, and check it out, we did have a +4, okay? So over here at the right, this time as we travel left to right, so again, starting at my leftmost part of my line, as I move right on it, I see that my graph is going down. So this is called a negative slope. And again, another example of that was right up here. We saw in our first problem, as we moved from the left to the right, we were going down, and we did in fact get that negative answer for our slope, okay? And here we have, this graph is not steep at all. Clearly we have a horizontal line here, okay? So I'm going to write that out. That's our horizontal line. So we're never actually rising. So basically we have a 0 over over some number, okay? So our type of slope is just going to be 0 here, okay? Any horizontal line, this is the case, okay? And for our last one, we have this graph is so steep we can't even call it a slope. And the reason this is, clearly we have a vertical line, so our rise is always increasing. It's always going up. So we technically have a number, some number, over 0. It's never running, okay? And you can never have a 0 in your denominator, okay? So because you can never have a 0 in a denominator, this type of slope is what's called undefined, okay? And that's true for all vertical lines, okay? So if you want to write that down. So that is all we have for this video. I will be back tomorrow with the next video for the rest of these notes, and that's where you will upload those. Again, just go ahead and do these next 4 here, and I will be available if you have any questions.